Happy to be back, guys. I'm so great that you're all available today. You're all around today. I myself am around today, and we have a lot to discuss. We have a lot of things to talk about, but most importantly, Martin Zubimendi to Liverpool. Josh, David, it looks like Zubimendi is headed to Liverpool, although they still have a few things to finish up. How are you guys? You're all good?
All
Good.
good, all good.
Some nice
Perfect.
pieces of news there.
Yeah. So, David, we are going to start with you. Zubimendi looks like it looks like he's headed to Liverpool. Barcelona has been interested. Man United at one point. Bayern Munich also did show some interest, according to reports, but Liverpool have stepped up, and it looks like they are really, really more serious about the player joining Liverpool as their second CDM or defensive midfielder. Josh, no, I'll start with David. David, real quick, how excited should Liverpool fans be about Zubimendi joining their club?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. In the list of big clubs that have been linked to Zubimendi, you have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know whether that was a strategy, but you have forgotten Arsenal. He was linked to Arsenal. He's been linked to Arsenal for I think the last 3 or so
By the way, yeah,
seasons, right?
Arsenal. I did forget Arsenal.
Yeah, because he's that kind of player, and his stock is desired all over Europe. So, but more to the point, we now see that Ancelotti is doubling down on his strategy. We talked about how we were really anticipating that Ancelotti may really have a preference for the double pivot, meaning he wants to have a strong midfield, especially at the back. And given the repertoire of midfield talent that he has, he's adding Zubimendi, who is just an excellent all-round midfielder, especially for that profile of a CDM. So I think Liverpool fans should be excited about that one. It tells us a lot about how they want to play, but it's also, in my opinion, it seems like a genuine level raiser. Because remember, they lost Thiago Alcantara, whose technical quality was excellent, and he had,
Speaking, Josh, David, speaking about Alcantara, I think it would be safe to say he didn't really perform to the expectations of any football fan. I won't even say, because I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I think something was lacking. The injuries, the inconsistency.
Yeah, I
I
mean
think
that's
he
the
did perform.
downside.
No,
Yeah, I feel like
no,
he did.
at Liverpool,
He did.
no. At
Yeah,
Liverpool, no.
you know why he actually performed at Liverpool? Because at the age that he came at Liverpool, and with everything that he had achieved in his career, and the injuries that had been there before, even when he came at Liverpool, we knew what Liverpool had gotten: a very talented footballer who might give you 15 games a season, and he did give them 15 games, very memorable moments, very memorable moments for Liverpool
Yeah.
fans and football fans around the world. He did things that were actually he was amazing. He was amazing at Liverpool. Yes, he
And
didn't give you a whole season, but he was amazing.
thank you.
Towards
Yeah,
the end,
David.
we missed him.
Yeah, David, you're still saying Liverpool fans should be happy that they should be happy that their club is interested in Zubimendi, because as far as we know, they are so desperate to sign a player. They haven't signed anyone. It's the only club in the top, should I say, top 5 or 6 that haven't signed anyone. Uh, if we to consider also what Anslot said last time, he said they haven't signed anyone. He's okay and fine with the quality of the players he has at the club right now. But if an opportunity presents itself, they are going to sign someone. So, I mean, should
Yeah,
they be really, really that
yeah, and let's
happy
also not forget
and
that
excited? Yeah.
when we did the Liverpool in depth, I remember we talked extensively about Richard Hughes, and that's the commitment that he made. He said they would have a better picture of the situation in August, and then they would probably get into the market sure of what to look for, and we're starting to see them doing that. So for me, I think this is also another confidence builder for the Liverpool fan base. But I think the best news is that it's Zubimendi. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Zubimendi, a player who is desired by almost all the top clubs all over Europe,
All top
right?
clubs.
It's not uncommon that you hear people referencing him as the next Busquets, and that's a name that doesn't need any explanation. So that's the
Mm.
level of talent they have added to their squad. So I would look forward to the season. Even as an outsider, I look forward to seeing what happens with that player in Liverpool squad.
Yeah, Josh, real quick, because I think Devi has mentioned everything about the player, but also give us in 60 minutes, give us an insight about Zubimendi. Would he be a great addition to the club, and should the fans be even more excited?
Yeah, I think as a United fan, I'm
Yeah.
gutted by even the thought that Zubimendi might end
Josh,
up
you
at.
want every good player for Manchester United
Of
because you're
course,
a
I do
Manchester
want every
United
good
fan.
player, but I mean,
Where is the fairness?
we are lacking. I don't have to be fair. I just want the good things for myself. Anyhow, it looks like Liverpool is poised to beat us to the signing of Zubimendi, though they are rumors that it might be more difficult than we thought it would be,
Mm,
because some reports say that Zubimendi is not really convinced by the project at Liverpool, and some
yeah,
reports do suggest that um, Real Sociedad is Sociedad is really hell bent on letting Zubimendi go. They really think that they might be able to convince him to stay, and
yeah,
they playing all sorts they're playing all sorts of tactics, including asking for a 51 million pound
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
By the way,
cash at
yeah,
once cash at
I
once for
read
the
that
player.
somewhere. Sociedad is
Yeah,
trying to
so
keep him. They're trying to
yes.
put everything possible to sabotage the player from leaving the club. They want him to stay in the condition they've. Because I think Liverpool wanted to pay less than the 51 million pounds. So they're telling them if you want him to come join your club, fine, but you have to pay the whole amount at once.
Yeah, which is difficult given the situation of the PSR rules and the FFP. But going back to the football itself, Zubimendi is a versatile player. I mean, he has everything you would want to have from a modern CDM. Like coaches and sporting directors have taken notice of the importance of a player like Zubimendi. A CDM, like traditionally, we've seen the Claude Makeleles, the ones who disrupt play and do all sorts of dirty work. But
Correct.
the modern game is asking more of a central defensive midfielder who is more composed, has control, can dictate the tempo of the game, can guide play. You know, they're looking for a player like that. Even initiate play from deep positions, come and give assistance to your midfielders. And Zubimendi fits the profile. Zubimendi is that type of player. He is going to do so much for the benefit of the team and not himself. That's why he's likened to Busquets a lot, and players like Chabi Alonso, because
Xavi Alonso.
he has the art of crafting opportunities from deep
Th-
and from an offensive perspective. And with Liverpool itself, you should know that their midfield, McAllister is not really a CDM. He's better as a box-to-box player. So
mm,
in Ancelot's system, if he's playing a double pivot and he has a composed, controlled player in Zubimendi, then he has a McAllister to run up and down. I mean, that is threatening. That is
you know,
quite a midfield. Even
Josh.
Endo,
Mm,
sorry,
no, please carry on in 30
yes,
seconds.
even Endo, with all the qualities that he has, running up and down, the type of players Zubimendi would be for Liverpool. Like Davis
Yeah.
said, he would be a level raiser. I mean, if he's talking about him and comparing with Thiago
Josh, ain't you
Alcantara,
overhyping him? I think you're
I am not
overhyping
hyping.
him.
I know.
No, I'm not hyping the player,
Yeah,
especially
and
playing
by
for
the way, he had a
Anslot.
very good performance at the Euros,
Yes,
especially the finals when Rodri walked off injured. Everyone was like, well, but when he started playing, you could see the balance, the
the boy
calmness.
can play. The boy can play.
Mm,
He's calm. He's composed. Gravenberch, you see, who is at Liverpool in midfield? Gravenberch cannot do that.
yeah,
McAllister cannot do that. Endo
yeah.
cannot do that. You see, but he even fits in so well in Anslot system or Eric Ten Hag system because they would prefer to play a double pivot for the next season. Yes,
You
and
know
in
why
a
I'm
double
laughing?
pivot, he would have security.
Josh
As
is
in a
making every effort to bring in Manchester United into the whole equation. Bro, I mean,
no,
an Arsenal fan
that's
is
not it
rightfully
though.
to say he also fits into Arteta's system.
I'm
No,
also slightly envious of Liverpool for that one.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to you, Nicky Fadi. As always, he said Thiago really played well at Bayern, but performed a little bit less at Liverpool. But I agree. That's what I was saying. He did. He did. He did. Of course,
so
Hamida says,
I hope
yo,
that they don't get
yeah,
him anyway.
uh,
So here's the thing,
yeah,
Isaac. You know, as good as Rodri has
yeah.
become at Man
David,
City,
David,
and in
please try to give
yeah,
me, try to increase your voice slightly. Yes, please.
yeah, I'm saying as good as Rodri has been at Man City,
Yeah,
you realize that we have been hearing about Zubimendi even before Rodri became this good, right?
True.
Even before Rodri became this good, we were talking about Zubimendi purely because of the quality that he has, but also Josh has lavished a lot of praise on this player. I believe
I
that
know.
that praise is rightful. Although the picture may almost look as though defensively he's useless, that guy, the strange thing is he can also put in a tackle.
I
You
He's
know,
think
not the guy you'll
if
see
there's any
fighting battles all
weakness,
the time. Yeah, but
if
he's
there's
also
any
a very,
weakness,
very good tackler. His
uh,
anticipation game is on point. I believe, I'm envious even as an
that,
Arsenal fan. I'm
actually, that
genuinely
is the
envious.
one. That is the one. The football IQ on this player is really up there. So I mean, he may not be heavy on tackles. You know, I nothing
But
the
when
only
he
weakness
does
he
it,
has
nothing
that
to
I've
take away,
seen is
nothing to take away from
winning
the
aerial
player.
balls. Yeah,
Nothing to take away from the player. But what I was likening him to, we were used to seeing a midfielder who was a destroyer and heavy tackles
yeah.
and stuff. He will do that with his football brain. He doesn't have to
okay.
slide in. He doesn't have, he would just anticipate really well and hold a best position to actually stop or intercept a ball before it even, an attack before it even happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did talk about McAllister. I was going to. I mean, should he be worried that Zubimendi is coming through? I mean, that's if he really signs for Liverpool. Should he be worried?
I think he would be the best partner for Zubimendi
In what
because
formation, Josh?
he's going to play double pivot.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
the
if it's
one,
a double.
yeah, the
No,
one, the
sorry.
one who is up and about, who is not holding a position, will always be McAllister because McAllister is almost tailor-made for the Premier League. As in, he can
Yeah.
throw in a tackle, he can run, he can chase people around. He's uh, he's uh, he's good. He's good for that role. And Zubimendi, when you protect him, you give him added cover. You imagine Zubimendi playing with Kobe Mino, I mean, and Bruno
Man,
Fernandes.
David, please come through.
so
David,
so
David.
Isaac, I prefer to see it from Ancelot's perspective or
Yeah.
viewpoint, right? Instead of McAllister's viewpoint.
Mm.
We know that Ancelot, even though it's easy to associate him with the double pivot, we know that Zubimendi can actually play excellently as a pivot, right? A
Yes.
single pivot. What the
Yeah.
Spaniards call the number 4,
That's why I
right?
asked
He
in
can
what
play alone.
formation. Mm.
Can play alone. So from the perspective of Ancelot, I think this is options galore because he has McAllister. He can play the double pivot. Those two can complement each other very nicely. Even Gravenberch. I like Gravenberch. I'm not very sure what his strong position is,
Gravenbach
but
hasn't really
I like
given me what I expected. I
as
don't
a
know
partner.
why.
I think then he would come alive. as a partner, I think then he would come alive. Because the other thing is Gravenberch also adds that physicality, which may be lacking if you put McAllister and Zubimendi together. So I think Gravenberch has certain attributes that the other two may lack, but I don't take anything away from them. So for me, from the perspective of Ancelot, I think this is just options, more options. And even McAllister shouldn't be worried about game time. Liverpool has very many midfielders, including the Endos. Should they all be concerned? We know that Liverpool, given their recent history, they're surely going to compete on very many fronts. They'll want to have a strong side in the Champions League. They'll want to have a strong side in the FA Cup. They want to compete on equal footing even in the Premier League. So I think there's enough room for all these players to get game time and express themselves.
Okay, yeah. Let me ask this before we move on. Zubimendi, his price tag 51 million pounds, or one can say is, euros. Considering the market value, is he worth the player? I mean, is it okay to just cash in the exact amount? Or I personally think not less than 40 million pounds.
I mean,
Josh.
Okay,
David. Yeah, David, come in, please.
I think it's hard to look at that transfer in isolation of the surrounding circumstances. I feel, or it appears to me, that Arsenal have a good relationship with Real Sociedad, and it's becoming increasingly clear that those two situations are going to affect each other. Arsenal's acquisition of Mikel Merino and Liverpool's acquisition of Zubimendi. Look, these two are the most important midfielders at Real Sociedad. Should we think that they are ready to lose both of them at the same time? So that might have an effect on the price a bit. But also, if you look at it in isolation alone, we have just spoken about this player being linked to all manner of European sides. So that means his stock is really high. There's no way they're going to let him go for cheap. They're selling something that they know. They know the value of that player. So I think whichever way you look at it, he's going to be expensive, nevertheless.
Yeah, Josh, should Paul just cash in and get the player that they want? Because I mean, fans really, 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 really want the player. They want to get him.
I'm even shocked.
They haven't.
I'm even shocked that Real Sociedad has stuck to the money in the release clause. Because by now they should have upped it. Yes, they should be asking for more money for Zubimendi to leave. And believe you me, as in we are so many who want his services.
But they have a release clause, so that means they can't take it more past the amount agreed on.
Yeah, they do have contract. Yeah, they do have a release clause in his contract, but I mean, freedom of contract. They can just
it's subject to their
say that. Yeah, it's up to them. It's their asset, so they can sit down on the table with Liverpool. They're like, okay, look here, we're not ready to give you this player this season. This player is this valuable to us. We need him for our project and stuff like that. But though he has a release clause of 60 million, if you pay 70, I mean, it's yours. And believe you me, someone who wants the player will still pay for. So for me, I think 51 million pounds is fair enough for a player like Zubimendi. I mean, United was about to pay out of this world for Ugarte.
No. They were not about Josh. They pulled out because of the fee. The fee was crazy.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
But you see, you see that PSG does think that the player is that valuable to them. So they asked for that.
All right.
I think 51 million pounds is fair. The only problem, I should let you in on the Real Sociedad is going to play Union Berlin tonight.
Yeah.
And we that game will tell us the situation at Real Sociedad. It will at least give us an insight. If he plays the game and plays 90 minutes, he might just not be on the cards for a transfer. I mean, you can't be. What if he gets injured? If you're in deep negotiations with someone for a player, at least you you make sure the player does not
Use
put
him
But
himself in
sparingly.
harm's way.
it looks like
Yes.
Real Sociedad doesn't have a lot of options. I mean, you see, Arsenal is still also into Mikel Merino. We are going to come back later in the not later, but in the next few minutes, talking about latest transfer news in the football world, in all leagues. But it looks like they're out of options, and Mikel might also join Arsenal. David, you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to to spotlight just a few minutes ago. I don't
Yeah.
think Real Sociedad is prepared to lose the the central elements of their midfield just like that.
Mm.
They'll
Yeah.
probably want to recover as much as possible for Zubimendi so that they still have time and the resources to go back into the market and get a decent replacement. Also,
Mm.
something about the Arsenal situation with Mikel Merino that I can't shake.
Mm.
There are so many dependencies. Maybe Arsenal needs to get money from elsewhere to purchase Mikel Merino, and maybe if Arsenal purchases Mikel Merino, then we may see more resistance from Real Sociedad to release Zubimendi, and it's starting to look like it's that kind of situation. So, fingers crossed. I hope Liverpool doesn't get their man, but if they do, I think we're effed.
Yeah, but I really, I do understand Mikel Arteta's
You
desire
guys are
to
just
have.
salty.
I do understand Mikel's desire to have these players um, who is Spanish, or he has a connection with Real Sociedad, so that deal might be easy for Edu to do. But Mikel Merino, he's not that all. I mean, apart from winning air duels, I mean,
No, no,
he's
he's
not
not.
even that good
Okay,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
passer of
Mikel,
the
yeah, he's
ball.
good
I
at that.
mean, these options for Arsenal is not like United, that they need uh, 8 players this season. You just need one, but the right player. Yes, Mikel Merino was a good choice for you in the beginning, but if that is difficult, I don't think Arsenal would be sweating over that. They'll just go and get someone else who can do the job, or even better than Merino can.
You know what I discovered about
Yes.
Merino? Even if we have
Just
actually
before,
agreed he's not
uh,
a
yeah, no, no, I was saying, well, Nick says 50 is enough plus a fair amount. Oh, you see, for I think he's talking about
50 plus
Zubimendi.
is a fair
50 plus
amount.
a fair amount.
Very
Well,
fair.
I might
Yeah, I think
I would say
it's
40.
actually a fair
Yeah,
amount. Yeah,
yeah, Josh, you
Yeah.
were saying, sorry, David, you were saying
yeah. Incidentally, I lost my trail of thought, but we can
it
go
was
ahead
about
when I
Mikel
when I
Merino.
when I,
Mikel Merino.
yeah. What I
What you
discovered about
discovered about
Mikel Merino.
Mikel?
Yeah, I've been trying to
Mm,
figure out. Of course, there is this situation that Arsenal has seen uh, over the last probably 2 seasons, especially that
mm,
we are actually there right now. Arsenal looks like a, a championship outfit in the sense that
mm,
we look like an outfit that can actually lift the local or the domestic owners. But it's that tiny margin. So when I was digging about why we are insisting on Mikel Merino, of course, there's those physical advantages, aerial duels, he's a tackler, and all that. It apparently Mikel Merino was probably one of the top 5 progressive passers in the Spanish La
yeah,
Liga, which is a lot to say about him. He has that eye for the last pass, and he's always making that forward pass. And when we contrast that with Zubimendi, if and I'm probably going to do him injustice with this, but I want to box him into a profile called, let's say, a metronome, right? His big deal is possession and retaining possession. Yes, we can
yeah,
talk about his creativity, which he genuinely has, but you will see him more as a Busquets, possession, control, possession and tempo control, possession and tempo control. Now, on the contrary, Mikel Merino is a very, very, very good progressive passer, especially in the final third. There were times when Arsenal was accused last season of being very predictable, even the season
yeah,
before, where there was I was watching a podcast where they said the analyst was saying Arsenal plays in a U. Whenever we face the low block, we play in a U, meaning the ball just goes from end to end without necessarily penetrating to the danger zones. Now, this is what Mikel Merino hopes to bring to the Arsenal side. despite all his size and all that, he's actually an excellent progressive passer, especially in the final third. And those are the small margins we talked about that Arteta wants to pull out of the hat. And if we are to actually compete with Man City, that's what we're going for. So I think that's the kind of issue we have there.
Wow,
Well,
you've really
I
oversold
know.
this player, yeah, but
The
I'm
sa-
still not convinced.
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
the same situation with most Arsenal fans. The wider fan base doesn't see a lot of value in that transfer, but it's that
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's where we are now. Small margin.
Richard says, "Hi, Josh, Isaac, David, and chat. How are you guys doing?" Pedro to we are coming to Pedro. Pedro to Chelsea, 54 million pounds. I mean, guys, we are going to come to this very soon, but I do think paid a lot. Sorry, Chelsea. He's a very good player, no doubt, but Chelsea paid for a lot for Pedro because his injury history is not really, really, really good. I mean, considering how he's been playing
Yeah,
uh, on the pitch, he's very good, but when it comes to the sick bay, he's a player who never steps out. And he also says, "Where's Cole Palmer going to play? Have they played much? Rather, have they paid? They have to pay. They have. They have to.
they have too
They have
much
too many.
players,
Yeah, yeah. They have too many
too many
players
players,
and spending a
and
little bit.
spending a lot of money.
Where's FFP? Josh, you did talk about this very situation in the Chelsea stream we did. Do please again explain slightly more how Todd Boyle goes around the FFP, especially with the long contracts he does give the players.
Yeah, he does try because when you look at it, most of the time, Todd Bowley, the players that he signs
Mm,
he gives them very large contracts. So when he gives them large contracts, the transfer fee is spread out. And when the transfer fee, actually, for the first players that he got in, like Enzo Fernandez, like Caicedo, and all those,
crazy
he gave them
amounts.
8 year, yeah, crazy amounts, but he gave them 8 year contracts, and they spread out the transfer fee over 8 years. The Premier League had to come and make the rule that amortization of a contract is only 5 years. It shall not go beyond the 5 years, even if a player is on an 8 year contract. But
Mm,
you should know that Todd Bowley has done extra things like selling a few hotels in Cobham, in London, in Chelsea to actually get some money. So he's not doing badly with the FFP, but I see it will come to bite at some point. I also believe the PSL rules were brought in because of teams like Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Josh.